Do you ever step away from your work and reflect on how well it's really working for you? When you do, it's a chance to improve how you do things and perhaps improve your results too. I do try to do this from time to time with all aspects of my work, and I've recently been reflecting on how this podcast could make a bigger impact with more people. So in this episode, I'll be sharing some changes we're making at the Architecture Business Club podcast. I'll cover what's changing, why we are changing the format of the show, and when the changes are happening. And stick around to the end where I share an idea that I'd like your feedback on. Welcome to Architecture Business Club, the show that helps you build a better business in architecture so you can enjoy more freedom, flexibility, and fulfillment. I'm your host, John Clayton, and if you're joining us for the first time, don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so you never miss another episode. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. As I mentioned in the introduction, I just want to run through a few changes that we're making with the show. So the first thing I wanted to share is that future episodes will be released in both audio and video formats. I'm really excited about this. So previously we've done like audio only episodes, and then we've recorded the video, shared a few video clips. But we're making this change, and there's going to be audio and video episodes moving forward. So why are we doing this? Well, simply because by publishing on YouTube, we can reach a wider audience, help more people, and create a bigger impact than what would be possible with just an audio-based show. Don't worry though, the audio version, it's not going anywhere. You will still be able to tune in and listen to the show wherever you normally listen to podcasts, but there will be a few changes to the format of the show. So one of the changes is we'll be tightening up the conversations to stick to the core topic, which means that we'll be trimming out a little bit more of the, I suppose we call it the banter, the opening banter with guests. And previously I normally would ask like a non-topic question at the end of the interviews, a travel question. That's also not going to be included in the main episodes. The reason for this is because, well, I'll be honest, YouTube audiences typically, they just want to get straight to the content that they came for. Typically, they're going to be tuning in for the core topic that we're covering, not the kind of getting to know you banter that we sometimes have with the guests. And this was actually one of this show's original promises, that we would cut out the fluff and get straight to the point. So episodes could be kept as short as possible to really just respect your time. This was one of my previous frustrations with many other interview-based shows where often the interviews were really long and rambling. They'd go quite far off topic, or they just wouldn't have a clear topic in the first place. Made it really hard for me to decide as a listener whether or not I wanted to listen to the episode, because there wasn't a clear outcome that I was going to get from listening. So in a way, this switch from audio first to a video first production approach is helping us deliver on that promise. So does that mean no more travel questions at the end of the show? Yeah, it does. Not in the main episode at least. So sorry to disappoint the travel junkies out there that might be tuning in. I do think there is still a place for non-topic chats with guest speakers. It certainly helps the guest speakers to relax, certainly when we chat about sort of interest outside of work, so they can deliver a better performance when they do come to talk about their main topic, which means that it's a better listening or viewing experience for you. It also helps to humanise things, build rapport. And to be honest, I just find it really interesting to hear other people's stories and to hear about what they enjoy outside of work. So I think we may still publish this type of content as bonus material. So perhaps like behind the scenes content, which I guess would end up on a playlist within our YouTube channel, but it won't be typically included in the main episodes. On that point regarding I suppose an obvious question being, well, why can't we just do a version that's just audio, that's got all that stuff still in, and then another version that's video? Because like most small businesses, we don't have endless resources to just double up the work and create two completely different versions of each episode. As much as, that may be amazing to do, that might be something for the future, but at the moment we're not in the position to be able to do that. So what we've done instead is adapted our production process so we can publish a version that does work and still sounds great, looks good on both audio and video. So are there going to be any other in-episode changes? Well, we'll be taking a slightly lighter touch with the editing. So what you may not realise is that in a typical audio-only episode, there are often lots of little micro cuts, which if you're a good editor, these are not normally noticeable for you, the listener. These cuts are harder to hide when you publish a video episode. Some cuts can be hidden on video with scene changes, zooms, or maybe a change of camera, but not all of them. So what that means is that you might notice a few more ums and ahs or pauses in episodes, but nothing distracting. Sound quality is still going to be a top priority. We'll still be cutting out any coughing fits, fumbled words, background noises, wherever possible. And we've already been testing this and feel that we found a good balance that will work for both audio and video. And I'm actually really excited about sharing the video episodes with you. And quick spoiler, we've actually used this editing approach in our previously released episode. So if you've already listened to episode 107, featuring my conversation with Nathalie Doremieux about podcast guesting, and if you didn't notice much difference, great. I mean, that's the idea. We've already used this editing approach. All of those edits that I've described, we've already used those on that particular episode. So what else is changing? We are going to be having a change in the release schedule. So typically we've been releasing one brand new episode every single week for over 2 years now. New episodes will be released fortnightly instead of weekly. And that's going to be not immediate, but coming soon, they'll be released fortnightly. The reasons for this is because despite spending quite some time tinkering around with our post-production process so we don't double up our work, releasing video and audio versions of each episode will inevitably entail a bit more work. And again, to be honest, right now, we don't have the resources available to maintain a weekly production schedule and, still maintain the quality levels that we're aspiring for, whilst making that switch over to video. I wouldn't want to compromise on the quality of the show or get completely stressed to the eyeballs trying to maintain a weekly publishing schedule, which can be pretty punishing, whilst trying to make this switch over to a video first approach. So I've taken the decision that we will scale things back a little bit and switch to a fortnightly release schedule, at least for the time being. And this is something that I'm happy to revisit in the future once we get settled into a rhythm releasing audio and video versions of each episode. So what about the mix of episodes that you can expect? So to date, we've primarily been an interview-based show. That is not changing. Our main focus will be on high-quality interviews with great subject matter experts. So expect more of that. You can expect an interview-based episode every fortnight. I've previously made and released solo episodes to accompany those interview-based episodes. Typically, these have been released around one episode per month. So that works out around about one solo episode for every 3 interview episodes. Those solo episodes were often a mix of stories and lessons from my own experiences of running a micro-sized architecture practice for over a decade. Now, solo episodes will not be part of the regular episode cycle moving forward, although we may still release the occasional solo episode as a bonus episode or if it's in connection with a special event or promotion. And again, I just want to give you a little further explanation about the reasoning for this. because since launching the show around 2 years ago, my area of expertise has shifted away from practicing architecture towards making podcasts and creating content. And podcasting has been life-changing for me. And that is something that I want to lean more into. And whilst I believe there's still a place for that type of content here, amongst other business and marketing related content, you have not tuned in to this particular podcast to hear me talk exclusively about making podcasts and content creation. You tuned in so that you could learn how to build a better architecture business. So my intention is to stick to what you were promised here. So episodes about business and marketing for architecture firms that help teach you the stuff you aren't taught in architecture school. With this in mind, I'm currently exploring the idea of launching a separate show that is specifically about podcasting and content creation in the not too distant future. So at the moment, this is very much just at the idea stage, but that is something that I've got in mind, and it's another project that I feel that it's important for me to explore. Is there anything else? Is there anything else that I've missed? So the other thing is just regarding ads and sponsorship. We are actively looking for a sponsor for this show. Now, I'm not interested in littering these episodes with an ever-changing roster of ads and irrelevant material that isn't helpful for you. So please don't worry. It doesn't mean that each episode is going to be filled with annoying and irrelevant ads. We are looking to forge a long-term partnership with one brand that is closely aligned to the mission of the show to help you build a better business in architecture and to give you more freedom, flexibility and fulfillment. So rest assured that any sponsor will be a good fit and will offer you something of value. Producing a podcast is a lot of work though, so securing a sponsor will help secure the long-term future of this show, and it will allow me and our brilliant guests to keep showing up for you on a regular basis. And it's also a great opportunity for brands too. By sponsoring this show, you will be able to get your brand in front of an engaged audience of architecture firm owners and raise your brand awareness across multiple channels where we are actively sharing content from this show every single week. And that opportunity, that is not just going to extend to new episodes. We will be dynamically inserting sponsor slots into our entire back catalogue of episodes because people are still listening to all of those too. So it's a really great opportunity for any brands that want to get in front of an audience of architects. So if you're listening to this and you know of any brands that you think would be a good fit for this show, you can email me at John, that's Jon, at architecturebusinessclub.com, so I can reach out to them for a chat about how sponsoring the show could fit into their business plans. So when are all these little changes happening? We will be switching to a fortnightly release schedule and publishing a video version on our YouTube channel from January 2026 onwards. We've already started producing the video episodes, so I might even be able to drop some of those onto the YouTube channel before the end of the year. And I'll also put a link in the show notes to our YouTube channel. So if you're not already subscribed, you can go ahead and subscribe over there. So if you do want to watch some of these episodes instead of just listening, you're able to do that on the YouTube channel. Okay, I also said I would share an idea with you that I'd like some feedback on. So here it is. I'm exploring whether or not it's feasible to re-release a video version of all or at least some of the previously released audio episodes. Now, most of these episodes, in fact, I'm pretty sure 95% of those episodes are evergreen content that is as relevant today as the day that it was recorded. So it does seem quite a shame to me to not publish those video recordings where we have them. I would love to hear from you if that is something that would be valuable for you. If so, just drop me an email at John, that's Jon, at architecturebusinessclub.com if you would like us to release video versions of past episodes, or if you've got any other suggestions for the show. Or if you prefer, you can send in a voice note via the link in the show notes, and I do listen to every single message that you send in. Okay, so just to kind of sum everything up, I'll just give you a quick rundown of those changes again. So there will be full video and audio episodes, tighter edited episodes, so better suited for YouTube, with a bit less fluff. We will be taking a lighter touch with the editing, so you might hear a few more ums and ahs, but nothing distracting. New episodes will be fortnightly instead of weekly from January 2026. Episodes will still be interview-based. The solo episodes will just be occasional bonus episodes rather than part of our main release schedule. And once we secure a suitable sponsor, there may be a few short ads within the episodes. So that's it. There was quite a lot that I needed to run through there. I just thought it was really important to share everything with you, just to keep you informed of the changes that we're looking to make. I want to thank you for your continued support of the show, and I really do hope that you'll be sticking around for future episodes, as we've got some incredible guests lined up to support you in growing your architecture-based business. Till next time, bye for now. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Architecture Business Club. If you liked this episode, think other people might enjoy it, or just want to show your support for the show, then please leave a 5-star review or rating wherever you listen to podcasts. It would mean so much to me, and it makes it easier for new listeners to discover the show. And if you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so you never miss another episode. And if you'd like to connect with me online, you can do that on most social media platforms. Just search for @Mr. John Clayton. The best place to connect with me online is LinkedIn, and you can find a link to my profile in the show notes. Remember, running your architecture business doesn't have to be hard, and you don't need to do it alone. This is Architecture Business Club.